Hello students, let us have a look on one of the video lecture on web technology and its applications. This is the course overview and course outcomes. In the last class we were studying about the CSS selectors. In that we have seen simple selectors like element selector, universal selector, class selector, group selector and ID selector, including attribute selector. The next category of selector is pseudo selector. This is gets selected when something explicitly happens to an element. So that means it's a way to select something that does not exist explicitly as an element in the HTML documentary, but which is still a recognizable selectable object. That is, it is applicable to any element but targets either a particular state or variety of relationships within the CSS3. The most common use of this category of selector is for targeting the link states. So the meaning of this I'll justify better with the example here. So here you can observe A is an anchor tag. Colon is used in order to specify the activity with the anchor tag. This appears only a particular action is taken place. Link, when a link is clicked, then it is changed to, and link is presented, it is changed to this particular style. When it is visited, then its color gets changed. You might have observed this in most of the websites. When you are initially looking into a hyperlink, its color and appearance will be different. When you click on that and go back to that page, it shows the text in a, that is linking text in a different color, usually with a purple color. That are the default settings by the browser. So that you can change to any setting you would like to. Similarly, you can make use of certain other pseudo actions also, like hover, active, focus and all. Hover is the activity when you have just highlighted that. You might have seen certain elements which appear to be in inactive state in a form. Like say, if you do not enter your email ID properly, then the rest of the elements in the particular form will be not highlighted. If that is the setting made, then it is appearing in the hover, right? It is appearing in the hover form, we say, right? When it is turned back to active, then you can specify it with a certain color. Usually for the hover elements, it is set with the gray color, you might have observed, right? So when it is becoming active again, when you are clicking on any element, then it is shown with the yellow color. So these all are the default settings that appear by default to usually a browser like a Google Chrome. You have a provision to make a change in this also. So this is I mean to say indirectly that the pseudo selectors are applied not only by the presence of the element, but when based on the user's actions, their appearance will be changed. So you can just particular example, you can just note it down and try it practically to understand the difference between visited, link, hover and the active status of a particular element. So this is mostly applicable to links, images and buttons, rather than just taking a text box or a simple display of the H1, H2 or something like that. You take a element which is able to accept the different actions by the user. Contextual selector. This type of selector selects the elements based on their ancestors, based on their hierarchy of appearance. So this is also a feature supported by CSS3. It allows to select the elements based on their ancestors, descendants or siblings, based on their context, we can say, based on their position with respect to other elements in the documentary. So before going to see an example here, we can find out which are all the terms we use to relate a particular element with all other neighboring elements which are lying in the HTML. Like descendants, it is matching a specified element that is contained somewhere within another element, that is a descendant. Like say it div p, if I write, it is selecting a paragraph element that is contained within a div element. So it is coming, p is coming after div element. So this is how we can say that P is a child element of the div, or it is a descendant of div element child. To specify that it is a child element, we have to make use of a greater than symbol, that it should be embedded within this. Here it is embedding is not necessary in descendant, whereas when child it must be embedded. And adjacent sibling you can indicate by the plus symbol, H3 plus P can be used. It is they are appearing when you plot a tree like structure for the appearance of the elements within a HTML document. If they are lying at the same level, then we call them as a siblings, right? So if that is the case, in order to indicate the siblings which are lying in the same level, then plus symbol has to be used. Then general sibling, it is a specified element that shares the same parents as the specified element. Then if they both of them are belonging to the same parent, must be belonging to same parent. If that is the rule, we have to use a tilde sign in between. This is all of them which comes directly under a particular level. Adjacent can also be possible. So before this, it is important to document a tree structure also, then only we'll come to know about all these differences. So we'll see one example here about descendant selector particularly. Some of these contextual selectors are used relatively infrequently because most of the authors are finding it very tedious to use. A descendant selector matches all the elements that are contained within another element. So here, as I specified, the context of this is P is descendant of division. So you can write like this also, P is descendant of division, and in turn it is a descendant of main, right? So selects the first P element somewhere within a div element, that is somewhere within another element ID equal to main. So remember that whenever you are specifying the ID name, then it must be preceded with a hash symbol. Okay. Yeah, this is giving you contextual selectors in action. Yeah, here it is combining both contextual and pseudo selectors. You can see the A which is appearing within a UL tag, and when a link is appearing, then it must appear with the blue color. That is what the meaning of this is. And this one, that any element which is having a ID name as main, within that time element is appeared. Time is one of the element. It is supported by HTML5, right? That should appear with the color red. So only this particular attribute, tag element, will be appearing with the style specified here. So this is main greater the hash main greater than time. That means both are same only, because time is embedded within main. So time is child of the main element, we say, right? So this can be specified by using child relationship, or also the positioning also. Both can be used. Both are referring to the same element. Then the question arises, we have specified two rules for the same. Which one will be applied? So that we will see in the cascading, the next section. And thus you can observe, we have specified P colon first child. It is applicable only for the paragraph which is appearing as a first child of div element, which is present inside the hash element having the ID as hash main. So that means that is applicable for only which one? Paragraph. That is this particular paragraph, right? So it is applicable for only the first paragraph that appears here. Okay. So this paragraph will be appearing with the green color. So we'll see the cascade, how styles interact. As I just now told you one example, we have specified the same rule by two different styles. One is that is the same element time, which is present inside the main. Once I specified with a red color, and once I specified for the same as a purple. So which style is applied? So that depends upon the how styles interact when we are specifying multiple rules. So this part we'll see in the next video lecture. Thank you.